Today I have a list of 70 new ideas for the brand new Nintendo Switch that's apparently coming very soon. We will not be talking about any software in this video. It will be strictly focused on the console itself, like its UI, all the internal aspects and the external things and weird things that we want it to do. This is going to be all over the place because this is both from me and from you guys. It's going to be a jumble of crazy ideas, some normal ones and some just outright out of this galaxy ideas. But thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. A lot of you watching this right now are not yet subscribed. Also, you'll want to make sure you wait until the very end of the video. There's a little surprise for you guys. And thank you so much for tuning in. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump straight into the video. And once again, before we get started, I want to stress that a lot of these can be very realistic. A lot of these can be very off the wall. I collected as many as I could from myself and from you guys by asking you in my community tab. So I just put them all in a big pile. So I'm going to show you some gameplay on the screen while we talk about these and run through these as fast as we can. But let's get started. Better Joy-Con that actually work and no drift. This is a big deal because the Joy-Con always drift. No matter how many you buy, you're gonna get drift, and Nintendo continues to deny it. Hopefully they can at least just fix it for the next console. Longer undocked battery life. Right now the Switch will only last you around 2 to 3 hours depending on what game you're playing, and then boom, the battery life is gone. This definitely needs an upgrade. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, but at least 5 to 6 I would expect. Something a little bit better, which the rumors are suggesting right now. We need more Pro Controller options like different colors and customizations like Xbox and PlayStation have right now. You walk into a GameStop and see just shelves and shelves full of multiple different colored controllers, yet the Switch only has like 2 or 3, and it only changes like the grip colors. It just keeps the whole thing black for some reason. Yes, we need better Pro Controllers. Come on, Nintendo. We need a better screen out of this one. Yeah, the rumors are saying that we might not have an OLED out the gate, which is a little because I cannot go back. After picking up the OLED, the screen is way better, and I really don't want to go back. Hopefully, there's at least an option to get a better version, like, you know, one with an actual OLED screen compared to the other, like LCD screen. So I'm hoping. We need better graphics and a better frame rate. Like, yes, there's a lot of games that should just not be running at 30 frames per second. There's no reason like a Yoshi game or a Kirby game should be running anything lower than 60. But yeah, better graphics as well. And what they should actually do, which is my next point, is maybe make there be different modes. For instance, having performance mode over quality mode or vice versa, or maybe even throwing in 4K capabilities in there would be pretty cool. It probably won't happen. It's probably no way it's going to have 4K, but I can bring it up. They need to have 2 screens to play DS games. That would be so cool. Or maybe even just have a flip-up screen for something else while you're playing your game. I don't know. But new cartridge slots for bigger game cards. This is probably going to happen similar to what the 3DS did after the DS, where it fits DS games, but you need to have this console to play the new games as well. It needs better internal storage, or just more internal storage, and I would love to see visual themes, because man, it is so boring to have black or white and actually have a themes tab on the Switch with no other themes in that tab to choose from. I think we should also have audio themes, meaning that we can play certain Nintendo songs or something in the background every time we boot up the console. Right now, every time I boot up my 3DS, it plays Super Mario Odyssey's, you know, Jump Up Superstar thing, which is really cool. And I had to purchase that and get that off the eShop, so there should be some things that we can either unlock or be rewarded for challenges or achievements we completed. I'll get into that in a second. But it needs a better kickstand. The Switch OLED definitely has a better one. It's more of a giant flap, but please don't give us that little stick that you did the first time with the original Switch, because that thing never held anything. It needs better online servers because, man, there's still so many problems with crashes and bugs and stuff with the servers. It needs a stable online server. We need better customizable icons. Nintendo has added a new way to make icons now, and it's a lot better, but make it even more customizable and easier to, you know, access. Right now, you have to go into this weird online thing and you have to load it up, and it just feels laggy and weird. I wish everything was just based on the home console itself, like in the menus, and that'd make it a lot easier. But I want to see actual parties where we can chat with friends, because how is that not a thing and we're in 2024? Like, yeah, I should be able to start a party and just have a whole bunch of my friends join in without us having to go to Discord or use some weird app. There needs to be an easy way to game invite people, you know, invite people into a game party a lot easier. Some games are starting to do it a lot better. I think Splatoon 3 has a way better system now, but there should just be a universal system where you can invite anyone to a game through some menu of the Switch itself. There should be a way to spectate friends as a specific mode. If they're playing something, you can just pop in and see what they're playing and watch them play. That'd be pretty cool. We need Virtual Console to return, whether it's an eShop or whether it's the Wii Shop channel, you know, we need something. We need something that we can go into in order to have a catalog of classic games that we can just buy instead of it just being an online service. My bet is going to stay on online service, but yeah, I would like to just kind of own some of those games like I do on my Wii U. We need different types of Joy-Con for different types of hands. The Joy-Con are very small, so if you have bigger hands like me, they can feel kind of awkward and strange when you're holding them. So different types and different shapes that maybe reference different past controllers would be pretty cool as well. Yeah, I want a GameCube Joy-Con. But we need smaller, more sleek docks. Yes, right now the docks are huge, and they just kind of look weird. It's just like a big old square sitting up there, which also leads me into my next one, which would be really cool, is to have a dock where you can actually still see the screen, and the screen will display certain things like the time, or maybe, you know, certain information about the controllers, like their battery lives and stuff, and just give you some information, or maybe even tie into the game in some capacity. I think would be pretty cool. We need Mii's to make their triumphant return. I would love to see them come back in a special little app on the Switch too, where you can customize them a lot more. We need a good camera where it's both frontward facing and backward facing, and it's just better quality. We need a way better clip recording system, because right now, there's no reason it should be saving clips in like 720p, and it looks horrible. It makes you never want to even save a clip. We need an in-console hub world to select games. I saw this actually by a couple people, which is interesting. It might be too much for people where they just want to start up the game, but maybe there's an option where you can choose to turn this on, where you can just go into a little hub world with your Mii or character and pretty much just organize your games in your own little hub world castle or something based off like Mario 64, where you could go indoors based on like folders where you've kept things. Ooh, that would be really, really cool. If you guys would like to see adaptive triggers on the controllers like the PS5 DualSense that actually allows you to feel it when you're like cocking a gun or pulling back a bow and arrow, like it really does feel different. I'm not a big fan of it. I normally turn it off. I like the classic feel, but that would be a cool option. I would like a built-in stylus like the DS, where you can just pop the thing out and use it for touch-based games, especially if 3DS games come to this thing and it does have 2 screens or something like that. You guys wanted a cartridge/disc holder for every past console. I get this comment every time we talk about a new console, and man, yes, it would be cool, but there's just no possible way unless Nintendo like releases an adapter similar to the Game Boy Advance adapter to the GameCube, where you could just plug in, you know, old school games. A disc holder would be cool. I doubt it though, because then you would have to, you know, make the new console backwards compatible with every past console, which is just not going to happen. 2 screens that are detachable from the Switch would be really cool. Just to have that second screen, pop it off and hand it to somebody else, one of your friends or family, and they can both play together would be pretty cool. A 3D depth slider like the 3DS would be a cool option. Personally, I hate it. I hate it on my eyes. But yeah, that could be something. Voice commands like Alexa, just saying like, "Hey Nintendo," or "Hey Switch," and then it like kind of does things for you on the console, or maybe something like, "Hey, you can install a game," or something like that, or just speak to it. Just different types of voice commands. Bring back AR tech from the 3DS. That would be pretty cool, using the camera and those cards and stuff. It didn't really do much, but I mean, it's just something that they could bring back. You guys want attachable Joy-Con handles, which, yeah, that would be pretty cool. I guess, in order to, you know, fit your hand and stuff, instead of just actually having to buy a whole Joy-Con, there's like little handles for them. New wallpaper themes from doing in-game quests/challenges. This is a cool one too. Yes, I kind of brought it up earlier, but you get new wallpapers and themes by doing achievements, which would be really cool. That way you don't have to waste money or pay for anything. It's just unlocking them and playing through your games. We need an optional sensor bar for docked motion controls, because right now the motion controls aren't really based off of any type of aim and point IR sensor. It's just kind of like a random motion of the Joy-Con, so we definitely need an option to add a sensor bar. That would be really cool. We need buddies. This was such a unique comment, I had to actually say who it was from. It was from user this, you know, name down below, but yeah, instead of Mii's, this would be Mii pets called buddies. And they could be like dogs, cats, maybe a hamster or something that runs around the screen, or you can take care of them, or like they can appear in certain games and help you with certain things. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool, kind of like the animals that we've seen from like the Wii Sports series and stuff like that. Would be pretty cool to see, like Wii Sports Resort, the puppies. But yeah, you could have something like that, kind of like Tamagotchi, if you remember that from back in the day. But yeah, that'd be pretty cool. The ability to listen to music through Spotify or Apple Music, or just really like any like music service, would be really cool. Yeah, that's something that a lot of consoles have right now, I think PlayStation specifically. So I would love to see the ability just to kind of have the Switch docked and playing music through the console would be pretty cool, or through the TV speakers and stuff just from the game itself would be pretty cool. Change controller buttons and customize them. So a lot of you guys have brought up this option to just kind of move the buttons or kind of move the buttons around based on how you would like. That would be fully customizable. I feel like the controllers would be very cheap in that aspect, where they would break a lot easily if you could just pop open the top and just put the buttons wherever you want. I don't know, it could be like the Elite controller for Xbox where it's easier to move buttons around, but it's hard to say. More me creation tools like outfits from Miitopia. Kind of touched on this earlier, but yes, lots of outfits and just the ability to change or customize your character a lot more than we've ever been able to before, giving them specific outfits and stuff to make them stand out instead of just, hey, this one has a red shirt, hey, this one has a blue shirt, you know what I mean? But backwards compatibility, this one is most likely going to happen. The Switch is just too successful and has way too many games for them to just completely move on from those games and say this is a new console with nothing but new games. You can't play the Switch games on this. I'm pretty sure it will at least have Switch backwards compatibility for sure. I want a much easier way to transfer data like from the Wii to Wii U that's also kind of cool, like with the Pikmin taking all of the data to the new console. Am I the only one that kind of had a little bit of a confusion problem when, you know, you were transferring data from the Switch to another Switch? Like, I transferred my data from the Switch to the Switch OLED, and it felt a little wonky. I can't really explain it. It had all these extra questions about keeping it on this console, removing it from the console, and all this stuff that you wanted to transfer over. And then when I did transfer it over, I had to, like, go into each software and say, like, yes, you had to confirm my account for it and stuff. It was very weird. It just wasn't, you know, smooth from my remembering. And I remember following, like, a step-by-step tutorial, too, and still it was just a little wonky. So I like it to be more clear, more fun, and more Nintendo-like. Like the Pikmin just simply carrying data from one thing to the other. There was no issues when it did that. Next up, a better activity log and detailed user data to know exactly the things that you have done, the games that you have played, all the data surrounding those, which leads to my next one. Accurate playtime hours. Right now, the Switch playtime hours isn't 100% accurate. Like right now, I know I have like well over like 700 hours in Hyrule Warriors, and right now it says I only have like 10 hours just because I transferred data from my old Switch and like things are messed up. Like, yeah, the data is not correct, and it needs a more accurate scale as to how long I played a game. We need a quick resume between games. This is something that the Xbox and PlayStation have right now. This is probably technology that the Switch might not have, based on the rumors saying it's going to be very similar to the Xbox Series S. So not necessarily, this is like PS4 level of a console coming right now, which can be looked at in different ways. But yeah, we're probably not going to have quick resume. We need a search engine. There should be some way to go online. I mean, we could back on the Wii, and I think even the Wii U. I don't know why there's no search engine or way to surf the internet right now. We definitely need that. We need more amiibo support. Personally, I don't really care. I've had pretty much this huge amiibo collection that I just kind of dissipated over the years because I just do not care about amiibo as much anymore. But yeah, why not? Why not just have amiibo support on this next console? I don't know for what. I don't know if Nintendo's going to have games to support it. We'll have to wait and see. Lots of you guys want to see Miiverse return, and Miiverse was really cool. It was like some type of online message community where you guys could like chat, and it was almost like a Twitter for Nintendo, which leads me to my next one, a new type of online community message board then. If we're not going to have Miiverse, let's have something else. Give us some type of way to communicate with other players and talk about our experiences and post our gameplays would be really cool. What if we had multiple slots for holding games? Yes, you could put 2 or 3 games into the Switch at a time and just cycle through them. Would be pretty cool, especially for people that do like all physical games. This is kind of annoying to take a game out, put the next game in, especially when you're cycling through like 2 or 3 games at a time. Multiple slots would be kind of insane, but kind of cool too. Multiple apps opened at once would be cool. Also, if there's like a music app you want to have open, and then you want to have your photos open, and a game open, and maybe the search engine open, like a whole bunch of things open at once, that would be a cool option. Better opening animations for the console. For instance, there's really none for the Switch simply due to the fact that it just goes into sleep mode. But right now, you turn the Switch on when it's off, and it just kind of just turns on. You know, you have that really cool animation and that song and that snap as soon as you boot the system up, but that's the only time you'll hear it. So maybe if you turn the power off and turn it back on, it'll have a better boot up sound. More channels or apps from Nintendo like the Wii had. The Wii had so many channels. Lots of them were just pointless. Lots of them were things that you probably never even opened. But I don't know. Maybe it's just nostalgia talking. But I thought it was pretty cool to have all those different channels and stuff from Nintendo, like the weather forecast and stuff. Like, who needs that? But, you know, it was there if you wanted it. I would love to see achievement system for all the games on this new Switch. And I'm talking like a straight up full-fledged achievement system with every game having like 50 different achievements that would make you actually want to go back and replay games and do certain things. Maybe they're like, hey, you need to complete this entire game without taking damage or without dying or something. It could give people real challenges and make people play games longer, and it might even increase sales. Like, it might even like encourage people to buy certain games to try to reach these achievements, and maybe reward the player with like a trophy or something for each one. Would be really, really cool. We need actual awards for completing challenges or these achievements. I would really like to see, like I said, besides like a trophy, maybe like a nameplate or something that you can flex to your friends, or maybe some type of wallpaper or a theme. That way, it's really an incentive to, you know, finish the game all the way through, because you get a cool theme with it or something. I would love to see Street Pass return. Maybe just taking your Switch with you. You can pass with other people that have their Switches with them, and maybe trade secrets or different things about each other. Would be pretty cool to see that happen again. Someone brought up WiiWare, and I completely forgot about this, where they're like specifically like indie developed games for the Wii, and we should have like a Switchware or something along those lines, where we have like these cool little indie projects developed for the Switch and stuff. I think that would be really cool. I used to play some of those games back in the day, so to see that return would be awesome. Access to most streaming services. We should have Netflix, we should have Hulu, we should have Disney Plus. That stuff should all be on the Switch. Just as many as you can have. It should just be an all-around entertainment system as well. The Joy-Con attach magnetically. Now, this comes from Zaxter. This was a really cool idea. And I've been thinking about this for a very long time, because as cool as it is to snap the Joy-Cons in and slide them down into the rails, I think it's still sometimes a little frustrating, especially for little kids trying to get them in, and you can bend the rails and stuff. What would be easier than just magnetic rails that just attach to the sides of the console? This can definitely happen. We have chargers right now from Apple and stuff where you can just magnetically slap them in and they'll start charging. These are things in the real world right now. So this is something that can definitely happen with the controllers, and maybe even a charger of its own for the Nintendo Switch. You can just, you know, boop, magnetically stick it on there and you're good to go. Use the Switch as a TV remote like the Wii U gamepad. This is something that I actually used a lot, because I would go on my Wii U gamepad in order to switch the input over from the cable over to the Wii U. And this is something that actually would be really, you know, convenient. Instead of having to grab your controller all the time, you could actually just use the Switch, pop it into the dock, or maybe even use the controller as a, you know, universal remote or something like that would be cool too. A lot of you guys have brought up the idea of an interchangeable backplate, or just kind of the console itself. You have to go out and buy a whole brand new Switch if you want a themed console right now. What if you could just take the backplate off, and there's like different colors, you can match them with your Joy-Con colors? That'd be so cool. You could really customize your own console, just like customizing the Switch plates. What if we could do that with the dock as well? Because right now, I think as soon as the dock came out, there was like nothing, and everybody's like, what do we do? Like, we want customization. And then some companies started to make like dock socks that you could put like a sleeve over the dock to customize the front. Hopefully we can put like a new plating on the front. There's just like lots of options to buy. I would buy so many. It's just free money for Nintendo. So hopefully they do something like that, so I can at least make my black dock look different than the other 1,000,000 black docks that you see at all your friends' houses and stuff. So yeah, I would like to customize my own docking system. Okay, we have 10 more. Some of these are just completely off the wall. Some of them are a little bit more normal, but let's just get into this. An easier way to transfer screenshots and videos to your phone. Yes, there should be like a updated way just to send them straight to your phone immediately or something, or send things just straight to an app or something that makes it a lot easier for you to access them. A way better and more charming eShop. The eShop is so dead on the Switch, man. Like, nothing happens. There's no music. It feels choppy and weird, like you're on this old internet browser and stuff. It just feels weird, and I just do not like how it works on the Switch. It needs a complete revamp right now. It's even hard to find and access certain games. There's no categories. It just feels like it's just slapped there because it had to be. So yes, please fix that, Nintendo. If you die in the game, you die in real life. Monkey Man said this. You know, that would be a hardcore feature for hardcore players, but, you know, do you? More experimental components like the Nintendo Labo or gun/sport controller holders. You know how you can put your Wii remote in a golf club, or like a little gun adapter, or just maybe like another type of game that utilizes a gimmick that works with the console, like the Wii Fit balance board or the Ring Fit Ring. Something along those lines would be cool to see something new from them. But let people mod games, someone actually put. And Nintendo would never just let people mod games. Nintendo never lets people mod games. People just find ways to do it. The new console will be moddable, you know, eventually in the future, and I'm sure there will be mods for the upcoming Smash game and stuff like that. It's going to always continue. It's just going to take modders a while to figure out how to do it. Nintendo's never going to let us do it. Headphone port in the controllers. Yes, this is a big one. I feel like that's something that's so easy to implement, just having like an audio jack. You could just plug your cord straight up to there and listen through the controller. I think would be really cool. RDXDD wants an inbuilt toaster. Why? I don't know. Maybe they desperately need toast at that time. So maybe like a little oven or something. I'm just going to post this on the screen so you can tell what I'm reading from. This is a real thing. This is a real post. I would like the Switch to allow me to obtain godlike power to be able to rule the world. I want its power so that I can be the one to throw eggs at the fat boy who fiendlessly bullied me for wearing light-up Skechers to recess. I want to drain the countless souls of all who have wronged me. I need this power. I need to punish those that wronged me. Then and only then will Tracy let me ask her out to the dance, instead of going with that mediocre boy Duncan. She liked him more than I, since he was popular. I need the power to strike him with the power of the gods, with lightning, and only lightning. Then at last we will have ourselves a good or even great console. I think we have to keep an eye on this one. I've seen some people mention ordering food through food apps like DoorDash, Uber Eats, stuff like that. Grubhub would be really cool. Believe it or not, there was actually like a pizza delivery channel on the Wii in like some aspect. I don't remember how it worked or like when it was a thing and when it was shut down, but you could actually like order a pizza on the Wii. So like, I don't know, something like that. And then the last one that I could possibly come up with that would be so crazy is, what if the Switch or the dock had some type of like dongle that you could connect to make a projector appear on the wall, like a screen on the wall, like a projector, like it's like a mini Switch projector. So that way you're like, hey, you don't have a TV with you, but you want a lot of people to play on the Switch. Hey, you can just, use this little projector to just shine it on the wall, and you guys can all play together, like a little built-in projector or something. It doesn't have to be super high quality or anything like that. That's not going to happen. I mean, you know how expensive that would be. But maybe it's like a little like extra add-on or something you can buy from the store or something. I don't know. So real quick, I actually looked this up, and this is a real thing being developed right now by a company called Ojo, who's making literally a dock that has a projector built into it, which is freaking insane. So, right now it's still in the prototype phase, and it has backers right now, so it's still getting developed. When this actually happens, I'll see if I can get my hand on one to show you guys, and I'll keep you posted on that, because that's just like a really cool concept. And that was 70 brand new ideas that the new Switch could actually implement in its design. Thank you guys so much for your comments, and thank you guys for tuning in all the way to the end of the video. You guys rock. If you really enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, make sure you stop what you're doing, leave a like, and subscribe, as a lot of you guys watching this video right now are not yet subscribed. But thank you so much for tuning in, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.